us today on my Power Day as above, so below. We're talking about Jupiterian energy, and teaching every one of you guys. I've been on social media all day long, teaching, sharing knowledge, wisdom, understanding with melanated people. If this is your first time in my live, my name is Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. I am the apostle and pastor of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated, and my beliefs are deeply rooted in the ATRs. Those are African traditional religions by which we harness, direct, and disperse energy, frequency, and vibration. To each and every one of you guys that are of my membership, my tribe, my actually my members of my church, I want to say salutation to my madrina and to my oba and to my padrino and all of those that practice the ATRs. First of all, I want to say to salutations to my Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo. Hello to each and every one of you guys. What's up there, my Gemini? Demetrius in the house, and then I got Danielle Gary from Alabama, and I got my Karen O'Brien here with us on tonight, and then I got Mama Susan Gemini back to back. I got me 3 Gemini. Ain't that something? But I want to teach on this tonight. It's I think it bears mentioning why this particular ATR and this particular melanated lives are really here for melanated people. It doesn't matter if you're in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Kumi, Congo, Apollo, Mystic, or Ajay. Whether you're a Christian or whether you're an atheist, when it comes down to energy, frequency, and vibration, it is scientific fact. But when it comes down to universal laws, the reason why I teach them, and I'm going to continue to teach them, because they affect each and every one of us, no matter where we are on the spectrum of light, because we're going to talk about some light energy. I want to explain to you, especially when you're in a Christian church and you're in a black church, melanated, you have a better, it's better on a pastor if they're white pastoring black people versus a black melanated man or woman pastoring black people. It is a different experience. Black people behave very different with white people than they do with their own kind that are made in their image and after their likeness. And so therefore, I try to teach people about energy, frequency, and vibration, and how to address people, and how to, I call it navigating in this life as a Sagittarius or whatever your particular energy is. I'd rather be called Eddie Murphy than to be fucking your mama that look like Mr. Ed. See how funny a Sagittarius can be? People name calling don't work on a person like me, namely because I grew up being called everything but a child of God. I didn't even know my name was Samuel Ely Jr. because I've been called MF and I've been called all kind of names. So name calling, you ain't gonna beat me there. Because if it wasn't my mama, it's my grandma. It was out of love, but that's how they operated. Be all great, but I can still hear. Stormy is getting them hours. Now, I want to talk about something today that if you're in the church world, I'm not going to bring up all the scriptures that the crystals are in the Bible. I'm not going to bring up about the amethyst is in the breastplate of the priest, the ephod. I'm not going to bring up the fact that the amethyst was also noted some of the crystals that were inside sitting on throne of God. I'm not going to bring up the fact that those crystals were also in the wings of angels. And to these are all facts. But we understand that melanated people in the church don't like facts either. Trump voters don't like facts, and people in the church don't like facts. What's up there, Tree Rhonda Aries? And so I appeal to your intellect, however minute I think it is. Because when I was dealing with crystals, black people, not caucus, black people, they were acting like I went down into I created the crystals. Anybody that knows how crystals are made and formed in the earth would know I ain't got a goddamn thing to do with the formation of crystals. I didn't invent crystal energy because I would be getting royalty like a mug. And black people don't care. Whatever they have deemed something evil and demonic, all the facts in the world are not going to matter. So what I propose to some that will encounter these type of people, a good case of whoop ass will remind them nobody gives a damn what you believe. These are the facts involved. They will work for you or work against you. And so therefore, with that being in mind, I want to share or teach this aspect of magic and melanin, and the understanding how crystals can play a part, which are not traditionally in Haitian voodoo, which is not traditionally in Palo, which is not true. But at the end of the day, if something works, if something makes something more effective, once you understand the mastery of your particular ATR. Now I had this particular amethyst crystal up against my cauldron called Kobe because his color is purple. I use this crystal with Oya because one of her color is purple. Jupiter, energy, frequency, and vibration. So I want to talk about amethyst and why we use basic quartz crystal. But these crystals are light energy. They're energy that came from the sun that went into the earth and got crystallized. I'm going to say it again. Crystals are forms of light spectrum. And anybody that understands energy, frequency, and vibration, the higher the light spectrum is versus how the lower aspects of light spectrum gives you a different energy or wavelength or manifestation. Are we clear? All crystals are light, sunlight that went into the earth and silicone surrounded that light energy. And Mother Earth created these crystals. Apostle Ely, church people, did not create crystals. I did not formulate them. I didn't even come up with the very idea. There's a crystal or silica in your crown that allows us to do the same thing that these light energy. That's why we're able to process light energy, frequency, and vibration. Thank you, Demetri, for reminding me myself this is a monetized channel. Since I get so busy talking, I forgot to mention it. So understand The reason why crystals work, because crystals are consciousness. And the reason they're consciousness, because they're light energy. And everybody that should have, follow me, knows that light is really information, which is light energy. That's how we come up with the word enlightenment. So it's basically light on freeze. And so this particular I'm gonna say candle, this is I have those that got your candles for good luck. I have a huge amethyst cluster. I sent some of you guys a picture. And what we do with a quartz, I'm gonna rate this up. First of all, quartz crystals give the power of magnification. That means whatever strength level your candles are, it is magnified. Thank you so much, Karen O'Brien. It is magnified. And so I utilize crystals like Xavier uses the machine that he puts that hat on, and it allows him to tap into all of the mutants. I use crystals to help me to expand my my range, that allows me to tap into various types of energy at long distance, but at the same concentrated strength. A lot of times when we're doing workings and we don't have certain things to amplify energy, the further that vibration gets, the weaker it gets. Well, in my case, the further I go out there in the ether, it's still at that same strength level. So amethyst or quartz crystals magnify, and people use it for a lot of different things. I use it for the quality or property of enhancing the development of the energy, and then allowing in this particular case, I've been had it sitting there sealed in. So whatever energy I baptized that crystal, that amethyst crystal over there that I'm doing the work with, I baptized it in my elixir from my Haitian voodoo working. And so therefore that crystal has that ache, that extraterrestrial energy in it. And that is also being magnified in the working. I always tell y'all, when I'm doing work for y'all, I'm always doing stuff that you ain't paying for. And the blessing of getting that good luck candle is because whatever energy and intention you have to receive of that good luck, it's being magnified. So it is way stronger in manifestation. And so therefore, it also moves a lot quicker through the ethers. I told you, I'm very scientific. When I'm doing a working, I want manifestation and I want testimony. And therefore, I add certain things to make sure certain manifestation come through for the people that invest in my work. Because I really thank God for the people that allow me to administer spiritual services to them. Because as a Sagittarius, I love to teach and I love to manifest. So, Amethyst is ruled by Jupiter. My day of power, I keep a lot of amethyst. I have a lot of big amethyst crystals. This in particular, I think I paid $500 for this years ago. But this particular crystal has amethyst is a water element. Amethyst is a water element. So we understand, because I'm breaking this down, we understand that water carries energy and water can be programmed. So amethyst crystals can be programmed with intention very easily. Just like water can be programmed. Also, you have to remember, water also magnifies energy, frequency, and vibration. I'm going to say it again. Amethyst is associated with Jupiter, which expands energy, but it's a water element, so it also magnifies energy while it carries that energy through. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all, you have to respect masculine energy just like you respect feminine energy and vice versa. Because now you have to direct the current, direct the tide that you have need of. So by programming or speaking into or laying your hands on however you transfer energy, you can program any quartz crystal, but in particular to program this. This is why you guys talk about people being brainwashed, when it is our mind or our subconscious mind can be programmed. You can speak to your subconscious mind just like you speak to a crystal. Because whatever is without is also within. That's why you have to be careful who prophesies over your life, who speaks over your life. That's why you have to care about what you speak, because you can program your own mind. I'm trying to make it really simple. You can program your mind to keep you away from blessings and run right into curses the way you think. Your mind is programmable. It was designed that way. But you're supposed to be able to program your own mind and start allow other people through television and radio and television to program your ideas and give you visions, give you images, and then you go out and project that image in your life and also the lives of those that are around you, where you have influence. So we understand that amethyst is associated with the water element. We also understand that amethyst is associated with Jupiter energy. Why is that significant on my day of power? I use everything available to me to make sure I'm as proficient in my energy as possible. So this amethyst will stabilize a Sagittarius or a Pisces. This is also the color of purple, which is the highest frequency in our visible spectrum of light. It's called Saint Germain. It's called the violet flame. This also associates a person with the crown chakra, the mind. It's your psychic powers. This is why those that do not know, fire is psychic energy as well as water is psychic energy. And most every Sagittarian is a visionary. Jupiter gives us visions, foresight. That's why I'm always telling y'all stuff that happened before it happened. That's why I give y'all heads up before it ever materialized, so you can be proactive and that some things don't affect you in a negative way, or you are ready to receive certain blessings. I told Mother Susan reminded Yeah, if y'all knew how much information my church members had before we ever got to the point where we are, that I told them where we were headed in the ministry. And I had so many people tell me, Apostle, I'm with you. Apostle, I got you. Apostle, I'm here till the wheel fall off. And when I say they fell off like roaches, being run into with raid, because talk is cheap. Talk without action and commitment is cheap. Taurus in the house. Thank you for joining us. So, when I was telling them all these things, because I have foresight, I have vision. And they call day vision. When you have dreams at night, they're called night vision. So, the point is, Jupiter allows us visionaries to give people certain types of knowledge or know-how so they can assist. But a lot of melanated people, when they hear something, they looking at where am I gonna come up with the money? Let me tell y'all something. A lot of times women say that men are afraid of responsibility. Women are too. People are afraid of responsibility. I don't care who they are. And they already feel they got too much on them, even though they're pretending like they got it going on. The problem is in their thinking, they were never my source. I was telling them what was going on, where we were headed, because I believe that a person that's a part of a ministry has a right to know their destination. I believe that passengers on a plane should be notified of their destination. I believe that a person that sits on the bus as a passenger should know where they're going, the route of that particular bus. I believe somebody that is in a boat and they're on a cruise should know where they're going, where they're going to dock at. Giving people information doesn't mean we want you to fly the plane. Doesn't mean we want you to steer the boat. My God is going to make a way out of no way. God is going to supply all of my needs. Whether he uses you or somebody else, it's going to get done. And therefore, they were trying to abandon ship, making sure they were not financially responsible. And I still got everything I needed. I still accomplished everything I needed. So you should show gratitude that the spirits were even considering you to be utilized in that manner. Therefore, you would have got blessed. But niggas don't care how much blessing is involved. When they don't want to do right, they not going to do right. I don't care if it's a nigga or a niggerette. It don't matter. So, miss me on that. We have what is called the, I don't know what that is. It's orange light. We have what is called the purple light spectrum. That's when we use purple candles. We use that candle, that purple, that represents royalty, but it represents dominance. The mass of Oya, purple. When spirits come in that purple light, it is very healing. It is where some of my healing powers come from, out of Jupiter. It's with this color of light spectrum. And that's why we have different color candles, because they represent a certain light spectrum. And that vibration affects our crown. This is why we use amethyst is known for alleviating headaches because it's a very soothing energy. And so therefore it also is used in protection work against psychic attacks. People utilizing their psychic ability to attack you. That's why we have amethyst. And the people that are more subject to those attacks are Pisces and Sagittarius. So this crystal is essential for those energies. If you got Cancer, Sagittarius or Pisces, sun sign, moon sign, or rising sign, or if you're dealing with something and you got those placements in a certain area of your life, amethyst will be a great assist to you. Make sure you awaken consciousness, because that's what we're going to be learning in my conjure class. And that's in the beginning. Purple is a necessary color. It is a necessary color in the light spectrum. It is a high vibrational color, which means it's supposed to open up your ori or your crown chakra for you to be able to communicate with those forces on that are in your upper chamber. Those that do not use guardian angel incense, the reason why you're not getting the effect is because you are feeding, because that's what guardian angel incense does. It feeds your higher version of yourself. If you're not tapped into that, or if you're not working constantly in that variation of you, you're not going to receive as much benefit or as much messages, because you're more in tune with your lower nature. This also represents the higher mind. Jupiter in the zodiac represents the higher state of thinking, higher learning. Okay, let me give you an example. This lower vibration, the lower mind will ask the divine to give you the strength to climb the mountain. Okay? The higher mind would teach you, tell the divine inside them, speak to the mountain, and the mountain go obey you. Two different actions from the same person, depending on what vibration they are at. The thoughts that you need to be receiving from the higher self are higher than you, because you're operating in your lower nature. So all that which is coming through in high vibrational, you not getting any of that, because you as a person, you're consciously not operating in different variations of your energy, your frequency and vibration. And it's easier to receive higher learning when you're utilizing your higher mind. I can tell by how y'all move which mind you operating in. The Christ part of you, which is the higher mind, the pineal gland, that mind thinks like this: I can do all things through the Christos. Through the Christos. That strengthens me. The way that you address your spell work, the way that you address energy, frequency, and vibration, it should be high vibrational. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of people ain't high vibrational. They talk about it, but they ain't about that life. What's up, love? My Taurus is in the house. Let me explain something to you. I don't care how much you agree with something. You cannot access your higher divinity when you live in your lower estate. If you in Palo, if you in Lakumi, if you in Christianity, if you in Kimbanda, whatever. I deal with the higher forces of the dark, just like I deal with the higher forces with the light. If you're going to engage in those divine spirits, you got to be coming from your divine mind. I'm going to say it again. If you want to engage with divinity, you must be operating in your divinity. You can't summon the divine operating, I'm only human, because they're not human. I didn't say you operate in your energy. I said in your divine mind. That's the aspect of you that operates in your higher self. And you'll be able to operate with the energy on higher dimensions. And therefore, it will be more easy for you to understand or comprehend. That's why the scripture said, my ways are not your ways. My thoughts are higher than your thoughts. To get higher thoughts, you got to be operating with the higher mind. That's a celestial divine and the infernal divine. Exactly, Demetrius. You could be dealing with infernal spirits, but they're not necessarily divine. However you show up in your energy is what you attract. That's why Yahshua, the Emmanuel, when he wanted to deal with Moses and Elijah, he transfigured himself. He met He met them where they were. If you're going to deal with the Impungos, you must operate in your divine state because they are gods. And we're the sons of God. We're the children of the Most High. Therefore, if you come to them as a God, you're going to get a different reaction from them than you coming to them as a servant. People don't like when I walk in my divinity. Not that I care. That's why I've been pushing a lot of you guys and trying to give you clarity what my guardian angel incense is all about. You don't realize if you walk in your divinity, $80 ain't no money. $3,500 ain't money. $12 because you can create whatever reality you want to live in your divinity. It's not hard to comprehend in your divine mind. But when it comes down to your natural mind or your conscious mind, then that is attached to your lower region. And therefore, limitations, restrictions, the feeling and fears of lack and doubt and unbelief. But when you're operating your divinity, like Yahshua said, we're supposed to do, he said, I'll be ordering some more soon. There's different forms of magic based off where you are vibrating. Stop listening at people talking about their high vibrational. It is an energy, it is a frequency, it is a vibration. When when it comes down to my Impungo Kobiende, he's considered the blue flame. Every spirit has a different frequency. And if you have had seen a blue flame as far as a torch, then you would understand how hot all fire is hot. But a blue flame is super hot. And therefore, what's that? What's that blue flame with Sid Rayos? No, I think it is Kobe India. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm tired. And I'm trying to teach this in a way that you can comprehend and understand why divinity, divine mind, all is mind is so important for you to understand. And nobody's keeping you out of one state or the other. You're the one that is keeping you're the one that is consciously keeping your lower mind in control. This is why your ego is always interfering in a lot of things that you say you want. Because if you are operating your divine mind, you will bring your flesh under subjection. You will bring your temple under subjection. That's why we use a term called avatar. You will understand that you are divine energy that utilizes this physical body. And you will not allow your lower self to rule your higher self. And I want you to hear me. You are allowing the lower version of you to rule over the higher version of you. Therefore, you have a hard time believing your destiny will be fulfilled. But if you were going through your divine mind, you wouldn't have that problem. The reason why you're struggling with my teaching is not because I don't tell the truth and I don't have facts. It's that you haven't chosen to utilize your higher mind that sees its way. Your lower mind gonna always see obstacles. But your divine, that's made in the image and likeness of the Christ, it always knows its destiny. It's always assured. The only part of you that need confirmation after confirmation after confirmation, validation after validation as validation, the lower part of you. Because it's limited. And it was created to be limited. So a God will have a earth experience. A goddess will have a earth experience. And so therefore, this is the representation of that particular energy, that frequency, and that vibration. And just because you go out and buy, and this is what I say again when my conjure class, learning how to tap into the spirit or the energy of a thing and then connecting it with a part of you, and learning that whatever is inside of you is outside of you. I'm going to say that again. Whatever is outside of you is inside of you. That same color spectrum is on the inside of you because you are a living being. You're a light being. The reason why I can connect with this particular crystal and amethyst in particular is because my purple chakra is activated. And what I understand is that y'all think when you open your third eye or you dealing with your Ori or your meditates, you feel that somebody else is going to make you go left and right. You have to program your own subconscious mind. And if you program your subconscious mind with bullshit, guess what's going to be manifesting? You got a part of the universe right inside your cranium. You have a part of the universe. That's why you're able to project on the universe. That's why when we as a collective of consciousness come together, that's why everything changes. Because the only people that have that access to the universe is the melanated people. We're the only creatures that have that melanin energy and allows us to be connected to the dark matter that's in the universe. This is why we're more powerful in our ATRs. But we don't like to listen. Sim for guardian angel. Ryan said, as a Libra, I am going to ascend. I'm trying to break a very complicated science down where a simpleton can understand. A simpleton. If you can follow the directions, you understand what I'm saying. And you're not going to get there because you could run out and buy Amethyst. You run out and buy Haritaki. When the spirits don't want you online, you ain't going. When they turn the light off, this is why you don't see much from these people that claim that their third eye open. If your third eye was open, you'll be connected to almost. What is that name of that computer that Xavier uses? You will be connected to the Akasha records. Your insight will be in the intellect that you and the information that will be coming to your cranium. Cerebral. Thank you. You got to understand when people are saying things, scientifically, it cannot be. Because your cranium, I remember when I was going through the crowning process and I was on live and I was looking around and I was looking out the top of my head. I'm like literally looking out of my scalp. And I'm like, what the? I done seen some stuff. But I ain't never seen that. That's why I know the crowning was real. Because I was looking directly up through my skull. Clear as day. I know I'm a seer, but I didn't see like that. How you connected to all is mine, and you still walking around here doing stupid shit? You don't walk in the enlightenment that you proclaim you have. Where is the energy flow that you are connected to? I'm just being honest. The facts are the facts. It is impossible for your brain to be having that type of activity and that nobody can put it can be measured. When psychics are having psychic premonitions and all that energy changes, and that can be measured scientifically. So how do you have higher beings communicating with you, and you cool as a cucumber? That amount of energy coming in from the universe to your head, and there's no change in you. Somebody asked me, how is that possible? When Moses went up to Mount Sinai to meet God, his hair turned white. Transformation. Let me tell y'all something. You are not going to be the same person once your third eye is open, once your crown is activated. We all gonna know because there's gonna be a different light on the inside of you, because that energy from that higher level is gonna be permeating through your being. It ain't something you can hide. Ryan said extraterrestrial fact. That light energy and frequency and vibration is not something you can hide. That's why I tell people, if you don't think things different with me, look at Why do I look like I'm constantly glowing? Because that's the light energy. You can't hide. Energy don't lie. I don't care what you practice. You want to get into the energy, the frequency, and the vibration. It's all cute and fun to be a part of these traditions. But don't forget the magic. Don't forget the energy. Because at the end of the day, you doing magic to make shit a reality. And when you get with another energetic individual, you want to double or not, if not triple, your manifestation. That's why I'm still campaigning for the 13th circle. Because y'all, if you understood what I would have the ability to do, you would have been purchased your 13th circle. But black people ignorant. Black people are ignorant. You're not going to be the same. I'm going to say that again. You're not going to be the same. That's why the scripture said, whosoever have tasted of the heavenly gift and turned back, you're not worthy. Because once I open that portal and those spirits come through, how you going to be the same? Because you're not going to be able to undo that testimony. Just like the people in my conjure class, once I shake, rattle, and roll, how you going to say you didn't experience what you experienced? Now you're left with a decision. Should I move forward and stop operating in my lower self? That I can perceive what is really being said to me, the opportunities that are being given to me. I should be ahead and not behind because I've been told before it ever happened. You cannot operate in high vibrational energy and do low vibrational shit. You will never access your higher version living in your lower parts. If you're not willing to rise, if you're not willing to activate these higher regions, then how can you communicate with the higher, especially people talking about they're dealing with the lower. The lowers are fifth dimensional beings, energy, frequency, and vibration. That's why you don't see a lot of people have that power. Because it's not that easy, and it's not that easy to achieve. Because they got to go to God's state. Most of our ATRs, they develop godhood or goddesshood. Awakening the divine particle in you. That's what you should be trying to achieve. Because I'm Centea in the flesh. I am Oya in the flesh. I am Kobe-Ende in the flesh. Those cauldrons are represented because they're vessels, right? And we are vessels. We're human vessel. And that same energy should be on the inside of you. But if you have either people with less melanin teaching you magic, because they can't teach you magic above their melanin. I'm going to say that again. Nobody can teach you above the melanin they possess. And the less melanin, the less frequency and vibration you have access to. The less melanin, sir and ma'am, you cannot access the 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 frequencies that are above your pay grade. And this is why melanated people have a hard time when it comes down to the ATR. They will initiate you, but they will never teach you. Because some of you got a lot of melanin in you, just like I do. And those are the facts. Long as you walk into that with your eyes open and you're up on no pretense and delusion, you'll be finding ATRs. And you will get your melanin information from me or anybody that teach melanated people. Because I can teach on a level they can't. Because I have illuminations because of my melanin that they don't have. And those are not my opinions. Those are facts, sir and ma'am. So I want to thank each and every one of you. If you would like a candle, did I? Hold on. Some of you already got the candles. I've been rocking and rolling all day. I'm not gonna reiterate because I've been talking all day. But these are dressed with chamomile, chamomile, transform negative energy into positive energy to bring about luck. It was I also placed agrimony, which is ruled by Jupiter, and then I utilized some, not a lot, of guinea pepper in this working to bring. They're only $100 if you get them tonight on my day of power. Quite naturally, energy is going to be off the chain. But this is something that if you need luck, and this is going to give you luck in all spectrums of light: white, purple, pink, blue, yellow, red, and green. That's all your chakras. So you want luck in every aspect of your life. They're only $100 because most of you guys already have your membership. It got graveyard work of that nature. Yes, it's still open. L Bay, that's my other Sagittarius. L Bay, when you get a chance, I did some videos today that are very, very significant to Sagittarius and Pisces, Pisces placement and Sagittarius placement. Make sure you go and watch those videos, because all that information is going to be why the our conjure class is only $175, and so we got a lot of people that done joined that, and it's gonna be off the chain. But y'all got until Saturday, but don't play with it, cause I don't want to be overcrowded. I want to be able to interact with everybody, because I gotta put y'all name on the list, and then I gotta do my own conjure. Okay, this is gonna be real magic interaction, even on the beginners level. I don't have time to play around about conjure, because conjure is a serious thing. It's dealing with energy, and your energy in particular, and understanding how to call that energy and being part of this process. So I want everybody as knowledgeable as possible, as studied as possible. So the more open you are, the more you're going to experience. Okay? But that's what I address. These candles, they're on $100. They will go in a. It's in a circle. It's a huge amethyst over there, and your candle will be placed in there for manifestation of good luck. I'm not gonna go over what good luck is because I got videos out there. If you want to take out the time to go look at the videos and decide at midnight, 12 o'clock to order yours, that's fine. It's fine. I'm here to help people that want to be helped. All right. I love you. I appreciate y'all. I'm tired. Um, but thank you each and every one of you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button. And thank you, my Karen O'Brien and Demetria and anybody that does a super chat, because I really appreciate that, because it still shows support and it still show love. So if you don't do that and you still patronize the website or the class or anything we got going on, I'm still appreciative. And to all the hoes that let me hold them down and dig out their back and remove their spinal cords and play xylophone on their body, thank you too, because it's such a great stress reliever. I appreciate what everybody doing to make me be who all I can be, and it's called thing called spirituality. All right, I appreciate all the help. All right, love y'all, and I see y'all later. He said, thank you, hoes.